Good morning. This is Mahesh Shiro. So today I am going to explain you the turbines related to the impulse turbine in that Pelton wheel. Okay, this is the figure which is of a Pelton wheel which consists of a closed casing, then shaft. To that shaft, circular vanes, a series of vanes have been fixed. Okay, here there will be a penstock. This penstock will be coming from the dam. Okay, here the wheel will be there to control. Then this is the penstock pipe which is made up of a concrete or a steel. Then there will be no nozzle at the end of the penstock to increase the velocity of the water, and this is a jet of the water which is hitting the series of the veins which is connected to the shaft. Okay, then a section plane of a bucket of a vein. So this is the series of veins of a bucket, mm, which consists of a section 1 and 2, and this is the section figure number 2, and this is the figure number 3, and this is the figure number 1. In the figure number 1, full section of a Pelton wheel it will be there, and in figure number 2, a wheel with a series of brackets of a vane that will be shown, and in the figure number 3, velocity of the vane when the impact of jet what hits the vane, then what is the angle and phi will be discussed. Okay, so before that, what is meant by Pelton wheel? Okay, a Pelton wheel is a tangential flow impulse turbine in which the jet strike the vane tangentially to the runner, tangential to the runner, and the energy available at the inlet of the Pelton wheel is only kinetic energy. No pressure energy is there, only kinetic energy is there. This type of a turbine are used when the head available is very high. High means velocity of the water will be more, and the head that upstream from the dam is very high. The important components of Pelton wheel turbine are the important components of the Pelton wheel turbine are the nozzle with the flow regulating arrangement, then runner with the buckets. Here there will be a nozzle, then runner with the buckets, then casing, then braking jet. That braking jet, here it will be the here braking jet to stop the jet. Okay, first one, nozzle with the flowing regulatory arrangement. Okay, this arrangement nozzle, a nozzle is a sharp tapering tube fitted at the end of the penstock to increase the velocity of flow. The amount of water striking the bucket can be controlled by conical needle called spear, which operated by the wheel. Then second one, runner. Okay, a runner is a circular disc on which the series of a, this is the runner. Okay, this is shaft and this is the runner. So in this runner, the series of shaft vanes have been fixed. Okay, a runner is a circular disc on which a series of buckets are fixed at a rectangular interval. At a regular interval, not rectangular. The buckets have the shape of a double semi-elliptical cup as shown in the figure. So this is the, see this is the semi-elliptical cup. Okay, each bucket is divided into two symmetrical parts by sharp edges, rigid called splitter. This is the splitter. Okay, this wheel it is divided by it equal into two parts of a, with the help of a splitter. The splitter divides the jet into equal parts. The buckets are so shaped that the jet get deflected by 160 to 180 degrees. So next one is the casing. Casing, so here this is the casing to control the water and to increase the pressure. Casing is made of a cast iron or fabricated steel plates. The casing has no hydraulic function to perform. It provides it provides the it is provided to prevent the splashing of a water and to lead the water to the tolerance, avoiding the possibility of the accidents. Okay, so to control the accidents and to provide water to the tailor tailor side, the casing is been provided. Next one is the braking jet. Here it will be there to control the jet, braking jet. Braking jet, after even after this supply of water is stopped, the runner of a Pelton wheel goes on a rotating for a long time due to the inertia in the inertia. In such a case, in order to bring the runner to rest quickly, a small nozzle is provided which directs the jet from the back of the water. This jet is called as braking jet or braking nozzle to stop the speed or to stop the runner of the Pelton wheel. The braking jet is provided. Okay, so this is the explanation about the Pelton wheel. Okay, next we'll come to work done by the jet of budget on the Pelton wheel and condition for maximum efficiency of a Pelton wheel. Okay, so from the above figure, so this is the figure. From above figure, see, you can see this figure, okay, which consists of two buckets of a different angle, VF1, VAV and VR2, then 5, then this GFH, U1, VW1, beta, V2. So next one is the explanation about this. Okay, work done by the jet on the Pelton wheel and condition for maximum efficiency of a Pelton wheel. Okay, so from the previous figure, that figure number 3, we know that FFX force in x direction is rho A into V1 into VW1 into VW2, where A is the area of the cross section of jet and V1 is the absolute velocity of jet at inlet, that is VC into root of 2gh. But for a Pelton wheel, H is called net head, that is called Hg minus Hf, head gross head minus head loss due to friction. So from the figure, VW1 is equal to U1 and plus VR1. So also VW2 is equal to GH minus U2, that is equal to VR2 into cos pi minus of U2. Assume beta is less than 90 degree and the vane to be smooth. We have VW2 and VW2 is equal to VR2. Now FFX rho into A into V1 into U1 plus VR1 plus VR2 into cos 1 minus of U2, but VR1 is equal to VR2 and U1 is equal to U2. Therefore Fx is equal to rho A into V1 into U plus VR1 plus VR1 into cos phi minus of U. Therefore Fx is equal to rho A into V1 into VR1 into 1 plus cos phi. So Fx rho A into V1 into V minus U into 1 plus cos phi. Therefore work done per second is equal to Fx minus of U. So Fx is equal to rho A into V1 into V minus U into 1 plus cos pi into U. So we know that efficiency is equal to work done per second divided by kinetic energy per second. So work done per second is here above, rho A into V1 into V minus U into 1 plus cos pi into U. Kinetic energy half into rho into V1 cube. Okay, therefore efficiency is equal to Q into V minus U into 1 plus cos phi divided by V1 square. We call this equation as 1. Therefore we know that condition for the maximum efficiency, neta maximum is equal to dou max upon dou neta upon dou is equal to 0. Dou by dou is equal to 2 into U into V minus U into 1 plus cos phi into V1 square is equal to 0. Therefore 2 into 1 plus cos phi into V1 square dou by dou is equal to U into V minus U is equal to 0. Therefore particularly 2 into 1 plus cos phi into V1 square is not equal to 0. Therefore dou by dou u equal to u into v minus u the whole square, that is equal to 0. Therefore v minus 2u equal to 0, v equal to u. Putting this value equation to putting this value in equation 2, we get rho maximum 2 into u into 2v minus u into 1 plus cos phi divided by v1 square. So that is equal to 2 into u into 2u minus u into 1 plus cos phi divided by 2u the whole square, u into 1 plus cos phi into 2u. So neta maximum is equal to 1 plus cos phi divided by 2. This is the final. So next, therefore working proportionate of the Pelton wheel turbine, so that is velocity of the runner. If the diameter of the runner d and the speed of the runner n are not given, then the velocity of the runner is called using the equation u equal to k into u into root of 2gh, where k is the speed ratio whose value varies from 0.43 to 0.47, and it is sometimes denoted by pi. Okay, then velocity of jet, to find velocity of jet, v is equal to k into gamma root of 2gh, kr into root of 2gh, where kr is coefficient of velocity, also written as cv. Then third one, the number of buckets or the cups on the runner is z is equal to 15 plus 0.5 w divided by 2, where d big divided by small d is called z of the ratio, which is 12 for most of the cases. D is the diameter of the wheel or runner, and small d is the diameter of the jet. Then fourth one, the number of jet required is called to total discharge q through the runner divided by discharge from one of its jet. Okay, that is q divided by small q. Then to find least diameter of jet, then d equal to 4q discharge divided by pi cr into root of 2gh, that is 1 by 2, where q is equal to a into v, q is equal to 5 by 4 d square into c into v into root of 2gh. Then d square is equal to 4q into pi into cr root of 2gh. Then d is equal to 4q pi c into v root of 2gh, that is to 1 by 2. Then deflection angle, if not given, assume it as a 165 degree. If they not given the problem deflection angle, then you have to assume 165 degree. Width of bucket b equal to 3d to 5d. Depth of the bucket is d dash is equal to 0.8 times the diameter, small diameter, to the 1.2 times the smaller diameter. Okay, these are the equations which you have to assume and which you have to know while solving the problem. Okay, thank you.